All right, everybody, welcome to Friday. I hope you're doing well. Again, I'm doing audio only just so I can make sure this reading gets to you. The video ones have been taking 36 hours to update or to upload. So let's do audio only. It's a smaller file and, technology. Okay, so let's see where we go. What is going on for the collective, please? Messages that want to come through for the collective. I'm using Denise Lynn's deck. You can see on the screen before I can. Ascending the Mountain. Vast Vistas, Expand Your Horizons. And Wise Leader. That came up yesterday. Some of you have been watching or listening, I guess. You know that we have been talking about leadership, spiritual leadership. I do feel like there is some kind of drive to expand out of what you're doing. So yesterday's reading, we talked a lot about leveling up and stepping more into your mission and purpose as a leader, and that we each have a piece of the puzzle. This says to me that this is global, okay? And I talked a little bit about that yesterday, but I feel like this reading is going to be more about rather than you recognizing you're a piece of the puzzle, but what is the puzzle? What does the puzzle look like? A lot of us, when we do puzzles, we have the box cover of the image that we're piecing together with these pieces. And, if you don't have that puzzle box, it can be really challenging. I don't know if you've ever tried to do that without the puzzle box. It might be a little bit like, I don't know, I just see a lot of blue sky. I see a lot of fish. I don't know what this picture is supposed to be. But I think that that's part of the spiritual journey, is we don't know what the end result is because we are still creating it. We don't have the puzzle box, all right? We don't have the puzzle box. So I feel like what's going on here is that we are keep moving forward, expand your horizons, stay in love energy, step into what's the answer is right in front of you. It's not somewhere out there. Even though we are talking about mountains and vast vistas, the answer is right in front of you. And I think for some of us, especially if we've been chasing or going all over the world looking for the answer, you'll find it right in your own backyard. There's a reason where we land, a reason where we choose to rest our physical bodies, where we choose to plant roots. Some of us it's family, some of us it's work, some of us it's I'm desiring to live in a certain kind of climate. Whatever that is, there's something new for us there, or there's something that we have not discovered. Okay, there's something we have not discovered in the place that we are planted. Planted? Yeah, in place that we are planted. I almost feel like there's a sense of keep going forward, expanding your horizons, and keep your feet on the ground as a wise leader. So underneath is the Fool card. That's definitely stepping off a cliff into something brand new. First card is Two of Swords. Second card is Three of Pentacles, the Magician, Queen of Wands, the Hierophant in the middle there, the Empress, the Knight of Pentacles, the Moon card, and then 10 of Cups. Very beautiful energy. I feel like you don't have to see the path to know the path. You don't have to see it, right? Like there's some of us who have stopped walking on the path because we want to know what the outcome is. We want to know what the long-term goal is. We want to know what our big mission is. And a wise person said to me many years ago, you just get the next step. So I have been very focused on the next step. It's right in front of us. We just move forward one step, and then other things open up to us and other things open up to us. But there's so much focus on what's my big purpose and what's my mission that you could be not seeing what's right in front of you. So that's the first message here. The next message is about manifesting from a place of awareness. I do feel like there's a lot of work to be done, okay? With the Knight of Pentacles here and that Three of Pentacles, and I feel like it's collective work. Like we need to work together more to manifest this radiant journey. And some of us feel, or some of us are in that place of, I don't want to just do the next step. I feel like I want to really go big. I want to get into that next level and all of that. I don't really feel like you can step into that a mission of the magician until you have gone inward, right? Two of Swords can be about going inward. It doesn't always have to be about blocking. And going inward is the work here, the Three of Pentacles, going inward. And it's possible that inward may allow you to manifest from a much more powerful place. All right, I like this. Now, the Queen of Wands and the Hierophant and the Empress, that feels to me a little bit like there's passion, there's fire. Queen of Wands is saying to me, yes, but I do have a passion. I am a wise leader. I know what I'm doing. The Taurus energy of the Hierophant says, I am stepping into leadership. We talked about that yesterday. And the Empress says, okay, Venus energy. This feels a little more personal than yesterday's reading. Yesterday's reading was bigger, and I do see this ascending the mountain, vast vistas, wise leader. I almost feel like this is saying to you, don't let go of what's going on right around you. There is something to be gained by being in the moment right now. Wow, being very much in the moment. And this might not be as spiritual a reading as yesterday was, which I thought it was super spiritual. This is much more about manifesting your own particular happiness. How can you balance your spiritual life and your physical happiness? You have a 3D body, not getting rid of that 3D body until you move on from this plane. And I almost feel like some of us are too disconnected from our physical realities. So the new plane is happening, are stepping in a spiritual way. This is saying to me that you might want to embrace what you love. So embrace what's internal to you. That new path can be also an internal path. It doesn't necessarily need to be the vast vistas can be internal ones. Your connection to spirit opens up when you go in, right? When you go inward. I feel like there's some of you that are having a massive heart healing right now. And you're doing that because you're in the presence of other people. And some of you might have, and I know we've done this in the last couple of years with how the world has been, sort of isolating ourselves and everything, and coming back into group settings or meeting with people or traveling even, or doing something like that can be a little scary. I mean, I struggled a little bit with coming to Costa Rica because I was like, oh, what am I doing? This seems outlandish to me, or maybe it seems unsafe to me. I took my own precautions, but I have to tell you, since I have been here and doing this writing workshop, the people who are in this writing workshop, which is everyone came here for their own reasons. And the connection I have felt has been very loving and strong and super supportive of each other and beautiful. Some of the stories I have heard about other people's lives and how they've moved through things has really inspired me, because as you know, my work has been quite a bit a solitary experience. And I do feel like we're moving into a direction where we're wanting more connection in a human way. And I do feel like some of us have relinquished our heart energy for purposes of our spiritual journey and have kind of put the heart or put love to the side. I've seen the comments. I know who you are. I know those of you who have said, why do you talk about love? This is all about spiritual work. And I get that. Okay. I'm like actually partially on board with that, but I feel like what this is saying is for you to actually complete or move to the next level of your spiritual journey, the heart must be present. And it doesn't just mean, okay, I'm sitting in my heart and my loving energy. The heart in terms of how you're relating to other people. How am I connecting to those who may need me? If there's anybody ill in your family or somebody who needs you for other reasons, if there's other people who need help and you can help them, how are you plugging into that? And other people plugging into you, okay? when you need help. So there's something here. I said yesterday about each of us being a piece of the puzzle. This is a kind of follow on to that reading. So if you haven't heard that reading, because it's only audio, but there is an image on the screen of the reading, you might want to listen to yesterday's, because this is kind of like a don't forget about love. Don't forget about self-love. And I know you wouldn't do that because we talked a lot about that. But there are people in your vicinity, or people in your family, people in your neighborhood, people in your life who need you to be present and witnessing love, flowing with the energy of other people who are also in the energy of love. It has been such an important piece of my own spiritual journey right now to witness other people's journeys. And I have witnessed your journeys in our Pathfinder group, and in classes and other things I teach, but there is still more to it. And I feel like doing more in-person things. I am going to be doing a retreat. I have been invited to do a retreat here in Costa Rica. We can do retreats in the States, whatever, we're going to be doing it, because what I'm feeling here and seeing here is the human connection that we have relinquished over the past few years out of necessity, not necessarily because we wanted to, but out of necessity, is now being refreshed. It's not the same as it once was. Those 2 years have changed us fundamentally as human beings. And I feel my heart overflowing with compassion when I hear one of the women talking about her husband as he was descending into Alzheimer's, and another woman, a young woman, talking about her first love, and just the stories that people are telling and the beautiful writing that they are sharing, and I am privileged and honored to be part of, has really cracked me open in ways that I did not expect. And I feel like what's being asked of us is to take that journey, even if it gets you out of this comfort zone or moves you from a place of blocking other people, or if you have had experiences of trauma or other people being toxic or anything like that, ask the universe for the right group of people. Ask for what needs to be shown to you that is the next connection spiritually. I have felt love coming in for some of you, commitment coming in for some of you, and I feel that any kind of resistance to that, well, first of all, I think it's futile, because I think there is something about cracking us open, cracking our hearts open again, being somebody who is available for heart-centered connection is what is being asked of us right now on many levels. I am seeing Hierophant and Empress, the Queen of Wands. Let's not forget our passion. Let's not forget our commitment to heart. Let's not forget, there's been a lot of talk here about orgasm and how it's connected to our vital life energy. Let's not forget about these pieces of us that are physical, but connect us to our spirituality. I'm getting a ton of spirit chills on that one for some reason. And that makes me happy. That does make me happy, because I feel like it's about accessing joy. And I know we do have Saturn moving into Pisces, which can sit pretty heavy on that spiritual energy. I have Pisces in my 5th house, and 5th house is the house of orgasm. It's the house of new love and new connection with relationships, and the childlike energy of just experiencing the world for the first time. Saturn can sit kind of heavy on that. There can be too much structure around that. But what Saturn, I feel like, is saying is that with structure comes understanding what's outside of the box. And Saturn can be a little bit about self-discipline, and that can feel like not too much fun or not too much joy. But I almost feel like the self-discipline of a spiritual practice, and then the kind of like pushing yourself. Let me just say this. I think the Saturn energy here is pushing you to do the thing that is joyful for you, or do the thing that is spiritually connected for you, pushing you into those places that may have been outside of your comfort zone, but creating a new level of comfort zone. I'm getting not only spirit chills, but I'm getting goosebumps all over my arms on that one. And I feel like there is quite a bit of fear about reconnection with people, or connecting in a lover type of way, connecting to someone new, being unsure of oneself in that realm. This is a new journey. This is absolutely new. And when Pluto moves into Aquarius also in March, we're talking a lot about March right now. How do I need to let go? Right? Pluto is transformational energy. How do I need to let go of my own either biases? Some of you may be stepping into a relationship with somebody that you may never have expected. This could be a completely, right? Aquarius is a little bit, surprises, unexpected. Pisces too is a little unexpected. So Pluto moving into Aquarius, look at your house, look at your own chart. Where do you have Aquarius in your birth chart? That will tell you the part of life that is going to be impacted by Pluto moving into Aquarius. Where do you have Pisces? That's going to tell you where Saturn is, how Saturn might, sort of inform your life. Aquarius and Pisces are right next to each other. If you take my birth chart mastery class, you know that. And with Pluto right now, Pluto and Saturn at 29 degrees, just as we're moving into March. 29 degrees, an anaretic degree, is a very critical degree for everyone, especially if you have 29 degrees in your birth chart anywhere. I have a rising sign, 29 degrees Libra. My descendant is 29 degrees Aries. So if you have any kind of 29 degree energy in your chart, you are going to be impacted more than the average bear, okay? And especially if you have Saturn or Pluto at 29 degrees, my goodness, that's quite a thing. But I think it's also interesting that Pluto, Saturn moving into Pisces, we do have an opposition. Those of you who are in your second Saturn return, I'll talk about this specifically for you. Those of you who do have Saturn moving into Pisces, you are part of the Virgo generation. So if you were born in the mid 60s to the early 70s, you have an opposition right now with Saturn moving into Pisces. And the opposite sign is Virgo, which is why you're called the Virgo generation. I was born in 1965, so we have Uranus and Pluto in our natal chart in opposition to this Saturn transit right now. And so what that says to me is oppositions are about balancing. Things that are opposite are requiring you to embrace each of the energies. And if you embrace one of them too hard and the other one not enough, you're kind of rejecting the gifts of it. So oppositions can mean a lot of things. I'll talk more about this when I'm talking about my astrology video, which might be an audio, because I might have to make it audio until I get back to the States. Okay. But this is really about oppositions. Remind me of kind of a push me, pull you kind of energy. So you can feel this runner chaser kind of energy internally. It can be about, where am I getting discipline? Where am I putting discipline? And where am I putting innovation? Uranus, right? Where am I putting discipline? Saturn. And where am I putting my transformative energies with Pluto? So these are big energies. Saturn, Uranus, and Pluto. Saturn is an interpersonal planet along with Jupiter, but Saturn is like how we relate to other people. But Uranus, Pluto, and Neptune are generational. So this is not just about us in our individual lives. It's about how are we embracing a new kind of discipline with the Saturn energy, and how are we allowing that to transform us? How are we allowing us to innovate? And the Virgo energy, don't forget about Virgo. Virgo is about routine. So it kind of likes Saturn being opposite to it, because it just says, okay, if you're going to make me structured, I'm going to create a routine around that. But I'm not going to forget that this is also a spiritual mandate. So it's very interesting for us to take a look at in our own personal birth charts where these energies are. Where do you have Pisces and where do you have Virgo? You'll be able to see if you look at those two opposite houses and figure out each house has its own piece of your life. Where is that falling? Mine is 5th house and 11th house. So what that says to me is my own personal desires, 5th house, personal desires, fun, joy, sex, awesomeness. How do I balance that with the collective, which is the 11th house? How am I being of service if I'm still working on my own stuff? How can I balance the need to work on my own stuff with my work with the collective, right? How am I doing that? And there's a bigger picture here, which I will go into in another video. But I want to just finish this part of the reading up. The Knight of Pentacles and the Moon, we may need to look right at our fears. He is looking right at the Moon. And what comes out of it? 10 of Cups. Joy, happiness, resolution, and like a home again feeling. I have moved through this transformation. I've moved through this expansion and recognized that, yes, love is important to me. Yes, I'm allowing people in my life that are loving to me and I'm being loving to them. I'm no longer cutting myself off. All right. We're talking about a time where we've just been through, where it's been the thing to cut oneself off from other people. And that's been the thing. I do feel like the next 2.5 years are going to be more about how I balance myself with other people. And spiritually, how do I balance my own expansion with the collective, with doing my work for the collective. So this has been quite a long reading, but I'm going to continue on with it. If you want to, let's see where we go with this. I'll pull some more cards and we'll see where we go. If you're part of Pathfinders, I'm going to continue on. But if you're not part of Pathfinders, there's a link below if you want to continue on with me. I'll see you over there.
All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.